There we go. Hopefully now everyone can hear me. Good to go. So my name is Brooks Bonner. I'm an admissions counselor with the Organization for Tropical Studies, based out of our North American office in Durham, North Carolina. And before we get started here, I kind of just want to go over a few of just the rules, how this is going to work. If you've joined us before for one of the Trop Talks, it's going to be very similar. So we're kind of going to go over the logistics, what to expect when you arrive. Jessica and Mauricio are going to talk a little bit more about the program. And then we're going to end it with an opportunity for you, the students, to ask questions. Okay, so um, we do want to try to hold off questions until the end, um, and when we do get to that last question section, there is a way for you to notify me that you do have a question, and so I'm going to walk you through that process right now, so at the end you'll know how to go ahead and do that. So if you look at the window that the Fuse software is operating in, the lower right hand corner, there should be three dots. If you take your cursor over those three dots, it'll say the More menu. Okay, so if you click on that right now, you'll see a big drop-down menu that'll appear with a bunch of different options. Okay, so if you do have a question, you'll see the one there that says raise your flag. If you click that to raise your flag, I'll get a notification that you have a question, and then I'll unmute you. You'll be able to ask your question to the group, and then myself, Mauricio, Jessica, or Adriana, who's also joined us, will be able to answer that question, hopefully. Okay. Um, okay, so without further ado, I'm gonna welcome Mauricio there. You're unmuted, and Adriana has joined us as well. So again, this is the pre-departure orientation for tropical diseases, environmental change, and human health in Costa Rica, the semester of our program with Duke University. Um, Before we get started, or as we get started here, just a couple things to remember. That the program dates, as you probably already know, it begins on August 21st and ends on December 5th. So that's important, so that you should be arriving no later than August 21st. Um, a lot of students do ask questions about um, the airport arrival, how you'll be traveling there, how we'll be picking you up. So what you'll want to do is make sure to wear your OTS t-shirt when you travel to Costa Rica. That's going to be an easy way for our staff in Costa Rica to identify you in the airport. Okay. Um, at the airport, once you get your bag and you leave baggage claim, you've already gone through customs. You want to be looking for someone that has a sign that says OTS Duke semester abroad. Okay. Be patient if you don't see that person right away. Again, an airport can be kind of a crazy and hectic place, but be patient, stay in that same area, and if you don't see someone right away, just wait a few minutes and you will see someone eventually. Okay. Um, Another important aspect, another important thing to think about when you travel is having proof of your visit in Costa Rica. So, as many of you know, when you travel to Costa Rica, for all of the students involved with this semester program, when you travel to Costa Rica, you should be given a 90-day tourist visa when you enter the country. Okay. So, as you also probably know, the course, the program is longer than 90 days. So, when you enter the country, you should be getting that 90-day visa. And then partway through the program, the program leaves Costa Rica, goes to Nicaragua for a time, and Mauricio and Jessica will talk a little bit more about that. You leave for a time, and then when you return to Costa Rica for the rest of the program, you'll get a renewal on your 90-day tourist visa. Okay. Now, occasionally, very rarely, the someone working for the airline that you're traveling with may ask you to provide proof of your plans in Costa Rica and that you're planning to leave the country less than 90 days. Um, if that is the case, we will be, excuse me, before the program starts and before you will take leave to go to Costa Rica, we will send you an email, a letter that explains the plans of the program and that you're planning to leave the program before the 90-day mark to go to Nicaragua and return so that your visa is reset. Okay. It's very important that you have that letter. Also, it's important that you print out the orientation packet that you should have all received that you can also access on the program page for your program. Okay. It's important that you have those documents. Um, it's pretty rare that they require that, but if they do, we want you to be prepared. Now, in the rare case that they do not accept this letter that we've provided, worst case scenario, absolute worst, this is very rare, you may be required to purchase a ticket there on the spot. So be prepared if that happens. Purchase a flight. We recommend that you do purchase a refundable flight. We're getting a little background here. Excuse me. So it is important that you have the ability to purchase a one-way refundable flight at the airport. And then once you enter Costa Rica, you can then cancel that flight, and then get your money back. Just make sure it is a refundable ticket. Um, like I said, this is very rare that this happens, but we do want to make sure that you are aware that it is a possibility. But just so you know, it's rare. Most likely you'll have no problems, but it's a good idea to have that letter that we're going to send you, as well as the orientation packet, which details the itinerary where you're going to be going as part of the OTS program. Adriana, do you have anything to add on top of that, what I've kind of shared there? Anything else that you can share?
Hi, everyone. I am Adriana, and I am the coordinator for all the undergraduate programs in Costa Rica. Um, we are very happy that you are going to be joining us in the almost the next month. All right, so, well, everything that Brooks has said is correct. And also, you will be receiving this letter that Brooks says about a week before coming here. We know that sometimes you have plans of coming to the program before that. So if anyone is planning on coming a little earlier, then please let us know because we can give you the letter beforehand, and also because the 90-day visa that you will get, it not necessarily, so the 90 days for us, they start from the moment we start counting from the moment that our program starts. But if you come a week earlier or 2 weeks earlier, then those 90 days will start counting. So depending on the case, on the dates of your arrival, we might need to ask for a visa extension, or you would need to go out of the country before that happens. So just if you're planning on coming before the time, just let us know and we will guide you through your individual process.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you for that, Adriana. That's important. If you do arrive early before August 21st, we don't want you to have any problems with that visa hitting your 90-day mark before the program leaves for Nicaragua. Okay. So that being said, I want to hand over the reins to Jessica and Mauricio to talk a little bit more about the program, what you guys are going to be doing, where you're going to be going. And then at the end of that, we'll open it up for questions from you guys, the students. Okay, so Jessica, Mauricio.
Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are as excited as we are for the coming semester. My name is Jessica. I'm going to be one of the faculty of the course, and well, we will talk a little bit more about this in the future when you guys arrive. But in general terms, I'll be leading the ethnobiology course as part of the research methods one. Mal?
Okay, everyone. My name is Mauricio Lascano. I'm going to be the professor of this program this semester. I'll be in charge mostly of the tropical diseases, environmental change, and human health component of the program, and also the research component of the program. So I'm really excited about this new semester, and like Jessica said, I hope you are too. I'm looking forward to see you in just a few weeks in Costa Rica. So it's very exciting. As I don't know, Jess, do you want to go over the itinerary or mention something else before we start with that?
Sure. By the way, I'm Costa Rica. I'm a Tica. So, and I have been with the program for the last 7 years, sorry. So I kind of know how it works. But yes, ma'am, I'm going to go over the itinerary very quick. And you guys will be arriving. Well, the course will start the 21st, right? And then we're going to spend 2 days in San Jose, mainly for the orientation days. And then we're going to move to La Selva, one of our 3 biological research stations here in Costa Rica. And we're going to be there for more or less 3 weeks. During that time, what we're going to do is to receive like some introductory lectures, field trips. We're going to develop what we call faculty-led projects where some invited faculty will join us and develop like small research experience for you guys to be part of. And after that time, we're moving to San Jose, which is the capital of Costa Rica. And you guys will be there for 3 whole weeks learning Spanish and getting immersed in our Tico culture as well and enjoying the different activities that you can do in the city. Because while we are in the stations, we are not in the city, definitely not. So you guys will be learning Spanish through all this period of time of 3 weeks. And after that, we're gonna move to Nicaragua. So I don't know, Mao, if you want to expand on that a little bit more.
Yeah, sure. Just to add to the during the 3 weeks of Spanish immersion, you also will be staying with Costa Rican families. So that'll be a great way to immerse yourselves even more in the Costa Rican culture. So that'll be a great opportunity for you not only to learn Spanish but also to interact with people and get to know the culture a little more. So on at the end of those 3 weeks of Spanish, we'll be moving to Nicaragua, as Jessica mentioned. We're gonna go to Managua, to the capital, and we'll be there about 6 days, 5, 6 days. What we're gonna do is to visit a non-profit organization that works on tropical diseases, on nutrition, and in public health, in other public health aspects in general. And the organization is called the Sustainable Science Institute. This institute is based in California, in UC Davis, and they have this site in Costa Rica, and they also have a couple more sites in Egypt and somewhere else in Southeast Asia. So they kindly have agreed to have us visit them and to see the projects that they do in relation to mostly tropical diseases. You know, it's going to be a good opportunity for us to go over the what takes to do research in a developing country, and also not only do research but also apply that research directly to public health problems of especially of populations that are underserved. So that'd be a great trip. I haven't been there. It's going to be my first time. I know some people who are in the organization, but it's going to be a first time for me too. So I know of the work that they do, and it's really interesting work. So I think we all are going to learn more about that. After that, we'll come back to Costa Rica. Also, I should mention that this trip is going to serve 2 purposes. We're going to do and visit the organization and witness all the work they do, but also the trip will serve to reset your visa. As Brooks was explaining at the beginning, we need to get out of the country for 72 hours, I guess, and then come back in order to reset the visa. So this trip will serve that purpose as well. After that, we'll come back to Costa Rica. We'll go to another research station called Palo Verde. It's in the northwest side of the country, and we'll be there for like 3 days, and then we'll come back again to in between Nicaragua and coming back to La Selva. We'll have an exam, midterm exam, and then you'll have a midterm break that is a week-long break that you're free to go wherever you want to go. Stay in San Jose, go to the beach, go elsewhere in Central America, come back to the States, wherever you want to go. That's up to you. And then we'll go back to another research station called Las Cruces. Just want to continue with that?
Sure. And once in Las Cruces, we're going to spend there around 2 weeks, more or less. And there, what we're going to do, it's a couple of more lectures, visiting 2 different indigenous groups that are in the area, as well as learning more about the health system of Costa Rica and some social determinants of health that plays an important role in the tropical diseases as well. And there we're also going to be writing the final research that you guys are going to do at the end of the semester. So we're going to spend 1 week over there just focusing on writing your student-led research. So that will be an opportunity for you at the end of the semester to do a research that in this case will not be guided by the faculty that we invite, but will be designed for you with our guidance. So it is usually in groups, and you will have plenty of time to plan on. It's one of the most excited parts of the semester, I think. Definitely it is. It's just great to have the chance to do research in one of our biological stations. And once you finish with the proposal, while we are in Las Cruces, then we come back to La Selva again. And once there, we're gonna spend until the end of the semester in La Selva. So it will be almost like almost like a month almost there. And while we're going to be there, we're visiting another indigenous group that it's around the area, and we're having the final exam, and then it will be basically just focusing on your student-led research. So it will be data collection, data analysis, data preparation, also the poster presentation that you will have at the end of the semester. Once that period is over, we're going to take you guys to a nice place that is going to be a surprise for a night. And then we are going to be getting back to San Jose on the 4th of December. So you guys will be leaving on the 5th of December. So in general, this is more or less how the semester will look like. We will, of course, go into every single detail in the orientation when you guys are going to be here in Costa Rica and throughout the semester. And also we are available. You can get our emails if you have questions. Since now we're very open to help you with whatever you guys need. So that's in general about the itinerary and what we're gonna do. I don't know, Mao, if you want to add something about the itinerary or.
That was, very very brief description of what we're going to do and some of the activities we'll be doing throughout the semester. As Jessica said, the first day we're in Costa Rica, we'll go over the whole itinerary and very very in detail. So we'll have another opportunity for you to get to know what we're gonna do. Other than that, just remind you that we'll be you'll be basically in San Jose for the Spanish classes. You'll be there 3 weeks. We'll be in La Selva, which is a research station in the tropical rainforest. So it rains a lot over there, and it's really hot. Then Las Cruces is a research station it's like a mountain forest. It's a little higher altitude. Very nice over there. Much better weather. And the Palo Verde. That station is in the dry tropical forest. So again, really hot, but a little drier than La Selva. Other than that, will be in Nicaragua, as we mentioned. Mostly will be in the city, in the capital in Managua. So we don't expect we expect to be in relatively nice conditions there. But other than that, just keep that in mind when it comes to packing, to bringing the clothes that you're gonna use. Keep in mind the places where you're gonna be, and keep that in mind when you get your clothes. I guess that's it. I guess we should just Jessica, you have something else?
Yes, regarding the packing list, well, make sure, guys, to read all the packing list, all the welcome package. Make sure to read it carefully. Any question, please ask us. And just to add something regarding to the airport, probably our TA will be the one picking you guys at the airport. His name is Christian. He's really nice, and also if Christian is not going to pick you guys up, it will be our driver. So then they will take you straight to the hotel. It's called Hotel Cats. And then that day at night, Mauricio and I will meet you guys there. So now you know our faces. So when you see us walking in the hotel, it will be us. Then we are going to have pizza at night. So it's usually at 6 or 7. But don't worry, if your flight is arriving later than that, we will save pizza for you. And we will provide you with all the instructions for the arrival. So don't worry about the first day. Everything is under control, basically. And I don't know if Adriana already mentioned this to you. Probably she will, or not. If not, make sure to put in your phones an app. We usually use our social network here in Costa Rica for communicating between students and professors, sometimes because we need to do something a little later, or the bus is not arriving on time, or this kind of thing. So sometimes we move things, or if you want to communicate straight to us and there is no phone next to you guys, you can use an app. It's WhatsApp. Probably you all know it, but we can also send you guys an email with the description of the app. It's very important that you download and install the app while you guys are in the States. Once in here in Costa Rica, you cannot do it because you need to receive confirmation from your phone operator or something like that. That is not going to work in here. So make sure to have it in your phone before coming. And something important to put in your luggage that is also in the packing list, but sometimes the students tend to forget. It's a little bit of silica. It's how you guys call these little balls that keep the moisture away from your devices. Well, bring silica for your computer, especially if your computer is a Mac, because here we're in the tropics, it's a little humid, so silica will help a lot. That's my main recommendation.
Yeah, good points,
Good
Jessica.
suggestion.
Yeah, very good suggestions. Make sure you bring a lot of silica gel. That's going to help a lot with your electronics.
Okay, well, that is all fantastic information. Like Jessica and Mauricio said, when the day you guys arrive, that first day, or excuse me, that next day, you guys are going to have a very detailed orientation, which is going to go over everything. So this is kind of just a brief overview of kind of the itinerary, where you're going to be going, last minute adjustments. But now I want to kind of open it up to you, the students, to ask some questions. Maybe you're thinking about what to pack. Maybe you're thinking about something that was mentioned during the short talk here. So I do want to give you the opportunity now to raise that flag. So again, in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, you want to click on those three dots, bring up the the drop-down menu and click on Raise Your Flag, and that way I can unmute you so you can ask your question. So we will see if anyone has a question here. While we wait, anything else that anyone wants to add? Adriana, or actually, looks like Lauren has a question. So let me get you unmuted here. All right.
Hi.
Okay, Lauren.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Okay. I had a question specifically about the backpack on the packing list. It says bring a backpack that has enough room for a 3 or 4 day trip. Does that mean like what size backpack generally like would I need? Like, does it need to be a hiking backpack that's big enough for like 3 to 4 days of backpacking, or
so you're not going to be backpacking per se. You're going to be hiking to a location, so you'll need to carry your stuff with you. But I don't know. It really depends on how much stuff you plan to bring with you. In general, you never want to carry more than a third of your body weight. I wouldn't imagine that you would get to that, but you never know. I don't know. Adriana, do you have any input, or anyone else?
Yeah, maybe Jess is the most indicated for that.
Well, we are gonna use those backpacks especially for small trips, and those small trips are either 1 day trip, so basically enough space for you to put your water, your notebook, your rain jacket, your umbrella, an extra t-shirt, or an extra pair of pants. And we're going to the indigenous territory. That will be 2 days. So for those 2 days, you need basically 2 pair of pants and 2 pair of t-shirts, and plus what I just mentioned. Sometimes it's important to have room for a little bit of soap and shampoo and your personal items, but like I can say like a normal backpack, if you put your sneakers tied it outside of it, will work for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, you will be going to Nicaragua, so you don't necessarily are going to be taking all your luggage with you. You can leave your like big suitcases in our facilities here at San Jose, and just take uh, a a backpack or some other kind of luggage item with you. So you can think on bringing something that you can put things up to 4 or 5 days.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think in general, it's helpful. If you're not sure, something maybe that's a little bit bigger than a normal backpack, but by no means do you need a giant, backpacking pack with room for a tent and a sleeping bag and all that. You don't need room for all
No,
that.
no. And you won't be walking long distances with your backpack or anything like that.
Okay.
Lauren, does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you very much.
Okay, great. All right, so we are now, I think Sydney also had a question. So let me get Sydney unmuted. Sydney, are you there?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So my flights worked out so that I get in the night before on the 20th. So would I need to find transportation and lodging for that night?
Yes, you would. Adriana, do you have a recommendation? Should you stay at the airport or the hotel where
You,
stay, or?
you can contact us and we via email. You can contact either me or Katia. I think you have both our emails, and we can guide you. We can recommend you hotels. We can help you make reservations, and you can pay directly. Or you can work it out on your own, and then we will just give you the address of the hotel where everyone is arriving on the 21st.
Okay.
Does that work, Sydney?
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's see. I think Hannah also had a question. So let me get you unmuted here. Okay, Hannah, can you hear us?
Yep. My question is during the midterm break, if we don't make travel arrangements, will housing be provided during that time? Can we stay with our homestay family, or how would that work?
Yes. So on your midterm break, you are on your own. That means you can do travel plans, you can stay with your homestay family, we can arrange for that, but you would need to pay separately for that. OTS is not going to be making plans for anyone. So we can help you make your plans, but those are on your own.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, great. All right, let's see. It looks like Sarah also has a question. Okay, Sarah.
Hi. I was wondering with the airport arrival also, I know like people are probably going to be getting in at like all types of different times. Will we have to like wait for a group of us to arrive before we leave the airport, or should we just expect to have like somebody waiting for us to take us individually?
Okay, that will depend on your schedule. So usually we'll check every flight and every flight information, and we will do groups if there are flights arriving within half an hour difference between one and another, more or less. But if not, if let's say that you are arriving at 8 a.m. and the next group is arriving at 10, we're not going to make you to stay there for 2 hours, right? So it will take you individually. So it will depend if you are arriving next to other flights that are arriving at the same time. It will be a group, so our TA or driver will be putting you guys kind of all together in a corner while everybody is arriving, or you will be drive by yourself depending on the time. Make sense?
Yeah. Also, I had a couple more questions. Um, as far as like having cash on hand or like money with you, just in case, is there any like recommendation of how much money we should exchange like before we get there? And like, how does the money exchange work like while we're in the country?
Well, for the arrival day, uh, basically you don't need money because we're transferring you from the airport to the hotel, and we will provide you with the dinner that day. But if you want to buy something to eat while you are at the airport or around the hotel, credit cards works perfectly here in Costa Rica. And the next day we're going to be in the OTS office in San Jose, and everything will be provided. And the next day we will take you all guys to an ATM so you can get money straight from the ATM. So if you want to exchange some money, like few bucks of in the airport, that's fine. But you don't really need much money, and then we will take you to an ATM where you can take your money for the rest of the semester. Like we will take you frequently to ATM so you can get the money. But I don't know, Adriana, if you have a particular suggestion, maybe no more than 40 bucks to be exchanged into colones.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't think that you're going to need colones, which is our national currency. Um, at the airport, you can buy anything with dollars if you're bringing cash, or with credit or debit cards. Also, you can, as Jessica said, you can buy almost anything with credit cards, and a lot of the the local restaurants, they will take dollars too. The only suggestion is that you should all bring $50 in cash, because we are going to be taking a deposit from you. So we take a $50 deposit to cover any damage that is done on the course equipment. And at the end of the semester, we normally return that to you. So we will be taking that cash on the first day. that is the only cash that you're required from the program to bring. But as far as exchanging colones, yeah, as Jessica said, you can just take them from the ATM, or the course will be stopping at local banks sometimes so that you can go and exchange inside the bank if you want to. I don't know
Okay.
if that. Mhm.
Yeah, that answers it.
Great.
I was wondering though, that $50 cash, and I know you mentioned that sometimes you might have to bring money for like the one-way flight. If that were to happen to you, would you bring that cash in like US dollars, or would you want that in colones?
So if you have to pay for a refundable flight, like at the gate, you can pay with your card.
With
It's
your
however
card.
it's whatever the airline is going to require.
Mhm.
But you
Okay.
shouldn't need to carry
Yeah,
cash. No.
yeah, no, because normally refundable tickets are very expensive, and especially last minute refundable tickets. So the better way would be to go with the card for that if they require you to do so. It's not normal, but we've had it.
Okay, that makes a
Mhm.
lot of sense. And I
Okay.
know I have a lot of questions, but just one more.
Right.
I know that you mentioned that we wouldn't have to bring like all of our bags like with us when we traveled like to Nicaragua and stuff. But when we travel like between the biological stations or like from La Selva to San Jose and things like that, will we be bringing like all of our luggage with us?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we should bring like maybe smaller bags, not like such big items, or
Basically, you can bring what you can carry. So we have a coaster, like a small bus with us, and we put all our luggage at the top of it. So each of us have to carry our own gigantic suitcase and pull it up. So just think about it. Or, you know, but basically, yes, we're moving all our luggage and also the course equipment through the different biological stations, so you can have access to all what you brought.
okay. That sounds perfect. Thank you guys so much.
So one other thing I'll add to the money question that was asked. Um, you also all students should notify your bank as well and let them know that you will be traveling. It's not unheard of for banks to put holds on accounts if they see unusual activity. And if you live in Virginia and all of a sudden they see a bunch of activity in Costa Rica and Nicaragua, they may put a hold or a freeze on your account. So do call your bank, let them know that the dates that you'll be traveling so that you don't have any issues when you do arrive in Costa Rica.
Okay, perfect. Thank
Okay. All right. Any other questions out there? Doesn't look like we have any raised flags. Okay.
I
So
see.
anything else? Any last thoughts from Adriana, Jessica, or Mauricio?
I don't know, Mal, if maybe you can describe a little bit about the nature of the projects that we have. Those are basically field projects, and the access to the labs, maybe what they can expect of the lab work that we'll be doing.
You mean for the student-led projects?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's as Jessica mentioned, that's kind of the main project you'll be doing during the semester is the student-led project. It's going to be your own project. You're going to design the project. You're going to develop, implement, and do data analysis, and all that implies doing research project. So the projects, it's typically they are obviously related to topics we've seen throughout the program, throughout the course. So obviously tropical diseases, vector-borne diseases, ethnobiology, and and it's going to be you who come up with the theme of your project. We might have some suggestions that we can give you, some ideas, but ultimately it's your responsibility to come up with a project and to execute. So the projects typically, as I said, they typically deal with tropical diseases, vector-borne diseases, and at La Selva, the research station, we have a lab. It's a basic lab you know, we have a lot of things, but it's a basic lab in which we have microscopes, we have incubators and all that stuff. And also we have a chance to do PCR. So if any of you has experience doing PCR, doing molecular work, that might be something to consider. We have the ability to do that. It's, as I said, there is not a lot of equipment. It's very basic, but we do have the chance to do that. And then also we have things like mosquito traps in our equipment. So if you are interested in catching mosquitoes and doing something with them, that's also another thing we can do. So basically, we try to have a balance in the, or you know, make sure that there is a balance in the process in between field work and lab work. It doesn't mean that all the projects have to be that way. Some may be more field oriented, some others may be more lab oriented. But just so you know, we have the capability of doing lab work also in La Selva if you're interested in that type of work. And so data collection typically lasts 8 days, I think 7, 8 days. And no, maybe 6 or 7 days, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have time to analyze your data and you have to write a report, a final report on your project. And you have to do the presentation. It's a poster presentation, the one that Jessica mentioned. It's a poster presentation, which is the highlight of your semester. It's certainly for the professors it is, because you present your work, you share your findings with other staff at La Selva, with other researchers at La Selva, with community members, and you'll do it all in Spanish. That's the best part of it. And don't be intimidated by this. You know, I don't know which level of Spanish you are at now, but let me tell you that your Spanish will be much better by the end of the semester. So don't be intimidated by that.
Well said. Okay. Anything else to add here? I don't want to keep people on too long. Adriana, anything else? Jessica?
Maybe just to mention that sometimes those projects that Mao mentioned are in groups, are group projects, because we don't have, let's say, sometimes enough professors to be with you all the time, or the transportation to move you guys all over the places, depending of the project, or we have limitation of equipment or PCR machines and things like that. So we usually do it in groups, small groups in general.
So it's good to be flexible. Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Mauricio. Thank you, Adriana. We're all excited to have you guys join us here in about less than a month. I can't believe it. And if you do have any questions following up, if they say you think of a question later on this evening or tomorrow, feel free to email us. Let us know. We're happy to help. And we are excited to have you join us. So that being said, goodbye. Everyone have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.